Hi, I'm Josh at Jones Sign, and this is a quick video to discuss and talk about the operation of the coder tool for the Wells Fargo Clear LED strut lighting. All right, so we're at the branch controller. These are our branch. Let me flip the video. Our branch controllers here. In this case, we're going to work with this particular output. This is branch controller 13. And it's port 7, so it'll show the ports on there. So we're actually going to disconnect this. So this is the output from the branch controller. Has power and data on it, and this is the input to the LED that's outside. So this cable runs right outside, goes to the LED on the exterior of the building. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook up our coder to that output. Okay, so here is the coder tool. This is the tool right here, and this coder tool has both an input and an output. There are two types of coder tools. This one has an input and an output. We also have another one that has a power supply on it. So in that case, it only has an output. So to give you an idea what this does, on the input side, it brings in power and it passes it through to the output, and it interrupts the data, and this little device takes over the data. So if you have this connected and turned off, you're not going to get any activity on your LED at all, because it's actually interrupting the data that's coming from our branch controller here. So now I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to the branch controller. All right, so as you can see, I have the output connected to the input of the branch controller. One easy way to remember if it's an input or an output is the outputs always have the ring on them that you can tighten up the connection with. So normally what we do is we take the output from our coder tool and connect it right here to get outside on the LED, but for the purpose of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the output of the coder tool directly to my LED. So I'm just going to hook it up right here. That way we can see what the LED is doing and how it behaves. So as you can see, I now have that connected to the LED, and the LED, the coder tool is not turned on. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our coder tool. And here's our coder tool turned on. So now we have this hooked up between the output of the branch controller and our LED bars. Normally, you would, like I say, you would be running this out. You'd be hooking it up right here and running the output out to the building, so we could see what address, and we can address whatever's out there. So the first thing we're going to want to do after we held down the switch on the bottom for a few seconds to get it to turn on. And we're going to go ahead and address the LED. So the first thing we want to do is, when we get in here, is push the address button. And this screen it's important to note that the two top options, the IC type and the channel, should be as shown always. Those two things will never change, and if they do change, strange things happen, and you don't want that. So the IC type should be MHSDB, and the channel should always be set to 144. Now the lamp can be adjusted to whatever you want it to be. If you're in the branch controller room, the first bar at the end of this line here on the outside of the building is always going to be bar 1. So we're going to go ahead and just hit bar 1, and okay. So that's what you normally see. If you were outside, and it should be noted also that this can be connected anywhere on the run. So if you're outside, you could be hooked up between, say for example, bar 14 and bar 15. So you could take the input or the output from bar 14 and connect it through this coder tool to the rest of the bars, and you could address them from there. Whatever the lamp is set at here, so if it's set for 1, it'll address every other bar behind it as well. So it'll address the first bar as 1, and then every other bar that's connected and operational will address sequentially out. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to, I believe the most we have out here is 30 bars on a run. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and just hit the set button. And when we hit that, what it's going to do, it's going to address it's going to address our bar. So it just addressed this bar to 1, and it addressed the second bar I have connected here to 2. So after we do that, we want to confirm that everything is working. So the way to approach that is you push the test button, push it again till it says manual, and then down below there's going to be a little box that says test address. And right now it says test address 1, and as you can see, test address 1 is lit up very brightly, and if I go to 2, it'll light up this bar very brightly as well. So that makes it really nice out on the, even in broad daylight, you have maximum output on the bar, so you can see which one that you're working with. And this is a way to confirm that whatever you did is working. So you would just run through all the bars. If one of them isn't addressing, then that probably is a failed bar and needs to be replaced. So just a little rundown on how that works here. So again, just to review, hit the set button, it addresses the bars, and it starts with whatever number you have punched in there, and then you hit this again. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. So it's at 1. If we hit test, autos, first one, and then manual, we can now test 1 and 2, our bars 1 and 2. If this were set for 7, the bars would not activate themselves till they were on 7 or 8, and so forth. Another little feature that this has is you can go back to the main screen here, and you can hit the test button, and then there are some patterns you can run, moving patterns, to also prove that you've set that the bars are operational. One little restriction that this has is, it says here pixels 512. You can actually, the maximum you can have in there is 1,000. It's just a capability of this device to address more than 1,000. But what it'll do is it'll just repeat itself, so it gets out to 1,000 pixels, and the test pattern will repeat. So let's go ahead and return. I want to make one more point here, and that is that there are 2 coder tools out here, and they have slightly different software on them. And the only difference is that this particular one here says address. On the other coder tool, it says code. So it's just a little bit of a different term. It was because they shipped an extra one to me, and they had updated the software, but they both work exactly the same way, aside from that language that they're using there. So another thing to remember is there is an SD card in here. Sometimes it might be prudent if you're using it out on the bars to tape that in, because it can, it's like an SD card. If you push it, it'll pop out. Another thing to keep in mind is on the top of this there is a USB-C connection, and that is for keeping it charged up. So it takes about 2 hours to charge it completely, and it usually runs all day on that charge. Okay, well, that's all there is for the coder tool. Thank you for watching.